go to this doctor's office, they tell you wife died, you don't ask to see her. You immediately you don't get to see her. You don't force feed go any further to see her. You just take them at the word. You don't know her names, you don't know her addresses, don't know how to return there, whatever, you just leave.
Yeah, this story is more far-fetched and more off the hook than even Anthony Tot. Okay, and this is the interrogation that busted it all open. Let's talk about it in today's video.
Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey.
Now hold on everybody, let's do a quick sofa sidebar now. Keep in mind, ain't no cop, ain't no doctor, ain't no lawyer, ain't no therapist, ain't none of that fancy credentialed stuff, okay? Only credentials we got up in here is my sass, and this sofa. Now keep in mind also, I'm just giving my opinions on very public information, so do your own research, come to your own opinions, and drop them off in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you do like what you see here at the Sofa Squad, drop a little like, drop a little comment, drop a little share. It helps the channel out immensely. Now let's get edition. Hello Sofa Squad and welcome back to the sofa. We got a sofa, we got a ball. My name is Paul if you're new to the channel, and guess what? If you ain't new to the channel, my name's still Paul. Y'all, we are going to be going over an interrogation today. Many of you asked me to do this case. I did not look at it when it was happening, and now we have time. We're going to revisit it. So there's several things going on here and not going on. But first, let's talk about who this is and how we arrived at the video today. So in late 2022, 40-year-old Mindy Kassotis was murdered and dismembered in Georgia. Hunters would later discover her torso on December 2nd, followed by additional remains scattered within a 3-mile radius. Investigators would tie the suspect who we're talking about today, Nick, and we'll refer to him as Nick Kassotis, a former Navy JAG prosecutor, remember that, prosecutor, to this crime. Now they would do this through cell tower data, surveillance footage, Home Depot and grocery receipts. Yes, we've even got the receipts in the Walmart footage, and possessions of tools and totes linked to the dismemberment. Now at trial, the prosecutors would rip apart his absolutely absurd story and a very mysterious fake Jim McIntyre narrative. Now his defense would portray Nick as a frightened man under someone else's control, but guess what? The jury and the court saw it differently. So on August 14th, 2025, they returned a unanimous guilty verdict on all 12 counts. Now the judge would give him the harshest possible penalty, life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 25 years. And he would also add a little icing on the cake and call it a web of lies and talk about the depravity of his crime. Now specifically what we're going to look at today in this process is his interrogation video. So we've got fake hospitals, fake people telling them what to do. He targeted individuals. You name it, it's going on in this man's story. So let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
You go to this doctor's office, they tell you wife died, you don't ask to see her. You immediately you don't get to see her. You don't force feed go any further to see her. You just take them at the word. You don't know her names, you don't know her addresses, don't know how to return there, whatever, you just leave. You go from there back, tell her family, pack up the stuff that you said was already packed, and gone. Remember, your stuff was packed.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff was packed.
That your important stuff was not.
Yes, sir.
You still had it.
Yeah, we had things that we didn't need, like day to day, like clothing.
So then you go to Florida.
So I'll still get a bottle of water.
You go to Florida, and when you go to Florida to pick up the beer,
yes, sir.
and then you go from Florida to Montgomery, Alabama, and you cashed a check for $5,000.
No, so that was a cash withdrawal.
A cash withdrawal for $5,000.
I think it looks like that.
Cash your check.
Yes.
But you get $5,000 to meet some guy that you don't know.
Yes, sir.
On the side of the road in Alabama for Mindy's ashes.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many local crematories and places there are here by Alabama?
Sir, he had called me and said that my wife's remains were available to be picked up. I forget where he said they were.
And you know, during this time, you're continuously talking to Samantha.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, I don't even know if Anthony Tot's story was this bad. So if you're new to this, what we're dealing with this is Nick. Meet Nick, everybody. So Nick is being interrogated. Like I said, his wife, Mindy, was found dismembered. One thing to keep in mind, because it will get confusing if you didn't watch the trial or know anything about it, Nick is claiming that a man named Jim McIntyre was essentially like he thought was a government agent who was helping him and Mindy. They were like targeted individuals of some sort. We'll let Nick tell that story as we go. So this guy, Jim, controlled every aspect of their life. He had access to everything about them, and he was constantly moving them around. And y'all, when I say constantly, you're like, oh, well, Paul, like maybe once a month. Y'all, I'm talking like every other day, okay? These people are packing up and going. It's very clear that probably what they're doing is just skipping town and like who knows what, right? So obviously, Mindy ends up dead, okay? So one of the stories that he goes with in the beginning, and this is the beginning here, is that she was having all these health problems. She was pregnant, but she really wasn't pregnant. And so the last time he saw her, he dropped her off or she had gone because he was out of town on one of Jim's excursions, and she dies in this clinic. And basically they call him in and they're like, oh, no, yeah, your wife died while she was here. Sorry, sign this paper. Doesn't question it, goes along with it, but he was really sad. Ends up being there like, oh, there is no body, we cremated her. And he meets some random dude on the side of the road and gives him $5 grand for the ashes. The man sat here with his full chest out and told detectives this, expecting them to believe it, okay? Now remember how I said in the beginning, he used to be in the Navy, number one, but also an attorney. Now, I will say he was not doing like high profile stuff like this or whatever, but nonetheless. So let that entrance there paint the picture for what you're about to hear, okay? Because honestly, you might be like, Paul, it doesn't go any lower than this. It doesn't get any worse. It does.
What about, okay, so I'm clear of all that, what you alleged with Jim back then, and then up until when you went and filed for your marriage license with Samantha. Okay. Then what happened with Jim?
After I filed for the marriage license, he told me how to fill it out. He told me he didn't think I should be married to Samantha. He thought I should leave Pennsylvania.
Why did he say that?
He said he didn't think it was a good idea. He thought that it was too soon for me, that it would be healthy, that given my past, I would be better off trying to settle down and start over somewhere else.
Where did the money come from that he gave you in the check?
My understanding was that it came from money that he has held in trust for me for some time, so to keep it safe.
And where would the money come from to be put in the trust?
From work on this software of his. I don't know if it was licensing or sale. It was told different things over different years.
Okay, so let's unravel Nick a little bit more for you. So Samantha, you're hearing Samantha. With these men, there's usually always another woman somewhere in there. I don't know why they don't just get divorced. We'll never know this, okay, why this is the better option for them. So he, of course, ends up marrying somebody else and getting with some other woman, Samantha, or whatever. And there's an overlap, okay? He would have already started telling Samantha that Mindy was dead before she was, okay, and other people and whatnot. Now, you heard the beginnings of Jim here, okay? So he's like, would Jim told me to do this. Jim helped me fill this out. Jim did this. Keep in mind, and we'll get to this as well, at one point we'll hear about $32 million. So allegedly, he will claim that Jim has him working for a company, or he thought a company, where he's working on these projects and inventions and this and that, and he had all these stocks with it. And I mean, this man's like, millions and millions of dollars. Can't keep a rental, can't pay the bills, can't stay in one place for 2 days, but he's got $32 million, okay? The police were sitting here like, I would have honestly been like, look, Al2 over here, we need a mental health eval stat.
If you will, tell me some more about Jim.
Jim came into our life in late 2017 and early 2018. I'm not sure what had happened first, but we had issues with our bank accounts, both our joint accounts and individual accounts. we'd had issues with our mail.
Okay, so this is the Jim origin story, the Jim lore, okay? This is my philosophy or a theory, whatever you want to call it, on this. First of all, imagine being with this man. Imagine you were somebody who somehow this man swoons you over. I just suspend reality for a minute. Can you imagine what a day in the life is? If you follow me, you'll know I use this example all the time with people like this. Like you leave the milk on the counter and it's like, oh, who left the milk out? A normal, oh, I did, sorry. Oh, whoops, oh, kill me, I left it out, I'll put it back. This man would create an entire story that Jim left it out and came in and did this. So this is what I think. I honestly think that something's like, this dude's not right, okay? Period, end of story. He dismembered Mindy. We know he's not right, okay? But beyond that, this man, I think, was such a pathological liar that he lied so much. And whatever this origin story is about money missing from the bank accounts and all that, he concocted Jim to tell people, like he was probably using this to be like, Mindy, look. Jim didn't take the money because Jim was solving the money taking issue. They had some issue. He was probably spending money on, well, ladies of the evening. Good God, okay? Just, I didn't want to say it. But and then he made up a story about Jim coming in to fix the problem and these kids are doing this and targeting them in the bank and all that. Y'all, it is crazy and I fear for what Mindy went through.
Do you know where my dog is?
I do.
Okay.
We'll answer that. Let's say that to later. Your dog's safe. Good.
Okay.
Been taken care of.
Well, at least we're concerned about the dog, right? More concerned about the dog than Mindy, but that's okay. Okay, I guess in this world, we'll somehow blame it on Jim. Let's keep going.
Before you left, did they let you go back and see her?
They did not.
You didn't ask to see her?
I asked if I could see her, and he said not right now. And I thought it would be. I thought it was because of the maybe like the autopsy or something. I assumed I would get a chance to see her multiple times, and I never did.
Did you get any copies of this paperwork or keep any of this paperwork?
No, I signed it. I was extremely upset. I didn't know what to do. I went straight back to her parents and told them.
Okay. So that's the same day you went straight back to your parents, their parents?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Frank and Betsy?
Yeah. We were all living together.
So what he's describing is finding out that Mindy was dead at this place. Didn't get the paperwork, signed this, didn't get a copy, but I was really upset over it. I was really sad. And I'm sitting here thinking that, God bless the cops. I don't know what I would have done at this point, okay? I would have been like this to my boy, do you think I'm stupid? And I think that he might say this eventually because this is so far-fetched and ridiculous. This is what I want to say to him. I'd be like, are you okay? Because something must not be right with you to come into my office and sit down and with your full chest out, tell me this story. Either something's wrong with you or you think I'm an absolute idiot. And either of those situations ain't gonna cut it.
So you didn't get to see her?
I did not get to see her, ever.
Could it be because you were looking down the entire time? Like you have the entire time that you've been talking to me?
It's possible.
Okay.
I tend to look down when I'm in my head a little.
So the cop saying, did you not get to see Mindy since you were looking down the whole time like this? I mean, I ain't no body language expert, but you don't even have to be for this. He's so clearly lying. And again, with people like this is what I say, imagine a day in the life with them. They are so used to doing this. Again, imagine just what a normal day was. So this dude would probably start off like maybe having an affair. He's got to make up all these stories for it. The lies are so over the top. But again, people like this, they exhaust you. And you're trying to live your life and you're trying to do this. And you eventually you either have to uproot everything and go, or you just have to put up with it on some level and go and just, this is what we're doing. We're riding along on this journey. Here we are. What is it today? A pretend person Jim is taking over? Okay, that's the little train and caboose we're taking down to Crazy Land today.
You realize I've been doing this 28 years?
I didn't say it.
Alright, so then what happened?
I've been doing this for 20 years. That's literally, this point needs to be said. This is an insult, okay? I'm sure that they've seen it all and heard it all. This is such an outlandish, insane interrogation. Again, it's like Anthony Tot. If you don't know who Anthony Tot is, he was in, I can't remember, but whatever the Disney town is in Florida, killed his family and basically came up with this contorted tale that it was his wife and they were trying to unalive themselves with Sudafed pies and all of this crazy stuff, right? And it was absolutely next level, absolutely ridiculous, and this makes Anthony Tot look normal.
But you did have to quit you.
Yes, at the time it was.
But you just turned it off.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that your car has a phone?
I did not know my car has a phone.
Okay. So they didn't tell you at the dealership about AT&T service?
No, sir.
No, they didn't tell him about the phone service in his car. They would tell them exactly where he went. Now, this is the part that I love about situations like this when the cop's like, boy, so you turned your phone off. Well, you just happened to do that, okay? When you were going to where Mindy's remains were found, okay? No, I didn't do that. Well, you know what, boy? Your little car, you ever heard of like a whatever that old-fashioned kind of car phone stuff is? Well, you got one, boy. Okay, you might want to talk to the dealership about that one, because guess what? It's what got you caught, boy.
Okay, sir.
Do you remember going down that route, down that dirt road?
A little, I don't know, sir. I'm not sure what I did.
Nick, did you love Mindy?
Yes, sir.
Did you love her parents?
Yes, sir.
Frankie, that's it?
Yes, sir.
You want to help us put all this together?
Yes, sir. We're gonna.
So we need you to be truthful with us.
Sir, I'm being 100% truthful.
You know that.
Sir, yes, I am.
Your phone, your car's phone, the videos. I mean, who else has the luck of going on a 25,000 acre property and get captured on video? The 45 minutes that you spent there at one location with the tubs,
That's night.
your DNA.
Sir, I did not hurt my wife.
Now, with the part right here where, number one, they're calling him out for lying, did you love me? You want to help us put this together? All this, that, and the other. And then when the cop said this, he was like, who else has the luck of 25,000 acres getting caught on video? I was like this. I was like, pardon me, officers. Hello, excuse me in this little interrogation y'all are doing. I heard you ask a little question, and I'd like to volunteer. I'd like to tribute. That would be me. It's why I would never do anything like this. Because I would be the one in a 25,000 acre lot to be like, yeah, it was the weirdest thing. The car phone hadn't worked ever, had been disconnected, but it just sparked to life and snapped a shot of him there with a leg in his hand. 100%. Okay, so this dude has the same luck. Now, also what they're talking about is, again, he thought he was being all slick, right? No, that car, y'all, it was the same thing as Alex Cox and being like, yeah, he was standing next to this blade of grass in the back of Chad Daybell's property at this time for this long. Same scenario. Now, another unfortunate mistake for him is there's DNA involved. There's also these tubs, and he would claim that he like carried personal items around in these tubs and this, that, and the other. Well, there was a very personal item in them. It was some of Mindy's remains.
February, right before we went to Frankie Records.
Have you ever lied in court?
No, sir.
Okay. When you testified that you had $32 million,
Yes, sir.
that was true.
I believed it was true, sir.
You believe it's true.
I believed it was true. I don't know what to believe anymore, sir.
Why did you believe that was true?
Because I had documents that had been provided to me that I had $32 million.
That you didn't earn?
No, that I didn't. I had worked around the clock on these projects.
Okay. So you thought it was from your project? So
Yes.
working around that, and you had $32 million that you didn't have?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Jim told me that I had it, that I couldn't access it.
Tell me about Samantha. When did you meet Samantha?
We were aware, I guess, of each other for a while, but we started talking.
Y'all were fairly close.
We got,
Online, I mean.
yeah, I guess we got fairly close in November.
Okay. So why would you tell her in October that your wife had died while pregnant?
Because I had to tell everyone that.
Okay. Why did you tell everyone else that lie?
What?
Why would you tell everyone that lie?
Because my understanding was that both of our online worlds
Mhm.
were. This goes back to fall of 2020.
Is it safe to come out from the pillow, y'all? And let me tell you what, if I was these officers, the cringe is so bad, the secondhand embarrassment is so bad. If I was that one officer, I'd be like, now look, boy, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but before I tell Mr. Nick this, you're gonna have to hold my hand, boy, because I'm so embarrassed. I can't even spit this one out, but this old boy, he's claiming he got 32 million. Okay, now you hold my hand while I confront him. I'd be like, dude, hold my hand. This part would send me over the absolute edge over this, okay? So this is the prime example of what Nick is saying, that this dude, you know, Jim, controls everything. I had $32 million. Mind you, lives out of an Airbnb and can't, you know, pay the bills. But he thought he had 32 million. And then this thing, I don't know what to believe anymore, sir. Everything is up and down and left, right, and I don't know what to do. Bro, just shut up, okay? How do you even come up with $32 million? Please, right? Now, the other part with Samantha, where he's like, well, then why would you tell her in October that your wife was already dead? I felt like our online worlds were colliding. No, you had run your game, finished, right? Done it, wore it out. It was time to move on to the next victim, period.
Here's the deal. There's a reason that Mindy died.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't
You
know.
know, yes, you know very well that reason, because you killed her.
I did not.
The big question is why?
Sir, I would never have killed Mindy. I woke up in the morning and I took care of her. I rubbed her back, I rubbed her leg.
And she wasn't pregnant.
Yes, sir, she was due in January.
But she was not
She
pregnant.
was not pregnant.
No, she was pregnant.
Even the times that y'all were saying that she was pregnant, she was not pregnant. She was not pregnant at the time of her death.
Sir, she was.
She was not. That's a medical certainty. She was not pregnant.
He's like, medical certainty. It's a medical miracle. It's a miracle. It's the Immaculate Conception. I mean, you can even tell he's lying. Sir, she was pregnant. Honey, no. How many people you grifted with that story, right? Literally. And I love the cop calling him out. We just need to know why. I woke up. I took care of her. I rubbed her back. All the things, right? None of that happened.
So you
killed Mindy.
you can look at the CPF.
Why did you kill Mindy?
Sir, I didn't kill Mindy.
You killed Mindy.
I did not.
All the evidence shows that you killed Mindy, and will continue to show. It's kind of like a 1,000-piece puzzle. You burned some of the pieces. You've thrown some of the pieces away. We'll never have all the pieces. It's very clear. You've made that absolutely sure we won't have the pieces.
Not only did he kill her, but did the most despicable thing you can do with the body. I mean, just, you heard, just did all sorts of things, you know. And again, there will never be a correct answer for why people choose to do this, but there was really no but to that. But what I was going, but what I was going to say is the next levelness of this crime is what makes it stand out, the grisliness of it, the horrendousness of it, and then his absolute, I don't know what this man had. I don't know if he's a narcissist, a sociopath, I don't know. Don't really care, okay? It's him doubling down and trying to just sell the story. And again, these people, we see them all the time, they're not used to being challenged. Somehow they go through life, and either if they're challenged, they can just kind of get away from the people challenging them, or they just jump from thing to thing. You know, there's a regular kind of like narcissist, pathological liar that's in your everyday life. They might, you might work with them, you might do this, he might, you know, these issues, but they're still functional. This guy wasn't functional, right? He was so over the top, it was almost like it was always going to come crashing down on him. And that people like this, it's like they have to regurgitate and restart over constantly.
That Jim was so good at his job of protecting you. Why would he not protect her? Why would I come forward with any evidence now?
I think Jim lied to me about a million things.
Why would he not prevent your father from being able to find you?
I don't know. But I don't think Jim was telling me the truth about anything.
Because he didn't exist.
He did exist, sir. We did everything for years. Based on
Remember the day when your father shows up
Yes, sir.
with your own jet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me you left the back door.
Yes, sir.
Not the back door.
Yes, sir.
So you leave, you're so afraid because you thought he had beat you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where was Mindy?
She said there. He hadn't seen her.
So you cared so much for her, you left her in the house when you were running out the back door.
No, sir. She knew I was leaving. Like we're
But you
talking.
didn't stay there to protect her.
Now, the other thing is that you'll hear all these people in Nick's life, and then when he starts getting caught out like this, the obvious question, this is the thing with the lies like this that this man is telling. There's obvious questions that anyone listening to it on a surface level, you don't even have to put timestamp, any of this kind of connect the dots on the chalkboard. Basic common sense. You're running from fear of your father and these other people, whatever. Father shows up. He's so dangerous, but yet you run out the back door and leave Mindy. Yeah, there is no but.
Absolutely. There was no messaging from the time you walked out the back door down the alley.
I did not understand that question.
Okay,
You didn't just like find no.
The question is, how did he know where you were? And he just appeared out of nowhere. He's followed you in multiple states, and he just appears. So, are you alleging that Jim killed your wife?
I don't know, but I think it's possible.
Okay. So, and the doctors conspired, they created this fake doctor facility of a name that you don't even know, a location you don't even know.
Side of the road pickup for
You didn't see your wife. Just so happens your phone, even your car, showed clearly where you were at, down this long dirt road that just happened to pass a camera and tracks your every movement. The stop at the marathon store off the interstate where you squat your car. All those records, purchasing the knife to go do mosquito work.
in November.
Yes, sir. You
And
can find the work.
that exact knife 2 hours later ends up.
Sir, I told you where that knife is.
That knife's not there. I know exactly where that knife is.
Sir, I told you that knife is in the back of that.
Took a GB like right.
You got right. Exactly.
It was found out there with the black toe.
So you can continue with the web of lies in the story. There's always reasoning for things. Is your reason that you're just a vicious killer and decided to kill your wife, or did y'all get in some kind of argument? What was your motive for killing her?
I never heard of it.
The story is not what you're telling.
The knife was his little Brian Koberger moment, right? Now, he'll sit here and be like, oh, I didn't get the knife was here, the knife was there. Have we gotten to the part where the car burned up with all the money in it? Just brace yourselves.
It wasn't your personal property that was in those containers, it was Mindy.
No, sir. I packed those containers myself. It was her laptop. It
You
was,
did pack on yourself. If your wife's dismembered body,
Sir, that's not true.
that is true. And you had it in your car when you drove down that dirt road.
Sir, that's not true.
That is what you placed in the dirt, 30 or 40 feet off the roadway.
Sir, that is not true.
That is absolutely true, Nick.
Exactly what the record showed.
The way that Nick tries to scold them, sir, that is not true, and shame on you for thinking so. Nick's this type right here. He's like, show me the video, which I get, right? He's like, show me the video. I don't want to see that video. I don't want to see me on that dirt road. And then they'd be like, okay, play. He's like, show me in the car. They'd be like, okay, well, bam, you know what? Your car got a little hidden video in it too. Show me with a chainsaw with Mindy. I mean, this is what you're like, literally a level of delusion and just buckling down to being like, absolutely not. And you heard what the officer said, right? That, yeah, your personal items in there was Mindy. And somehow this man thought he was going to get away with this. Now, also the whole thing where he's talking about, it's possible Jim could have, been working with this doctor in the hospital to line this whole thing up. Now, one thing that's interesting psychologically is when you get into like the targeted individuals and people who feel they're targeted, or, and I'm not trying to say that there's some level that this might happen, right? Do I think that Nick is a targeted individual? Absolutely not. Do I think that Nick believes he is? I can't tell. Okay, because part of me feels like there is a level of that going on, but I also think it's mixed in with absolute pathological lying. Now, again, I'm not a doctor, not any of that kind of stuff or whatever, and I'm also doing the like, yeah, I've watched a lot of documentaries on this, okay, yeah, I looked up some Google pages, I know, okay, although I don't know, okay, so this is just like us talking and so speculation. But literally, like the videos and like the documentaries that I've watched on targeted individuals, Nick isn't giving me the same energy. It's like there, but mixed with something else. Like there's something missing here. This whole thing where he's going down the rabbit hole of like, well, yeah, it could have been. I felt like Nick was doing this. When the officer was telling him like, Nick, your Jim, killed your wife and worked with these, like, yeah, that's a damn good story you got, bro. Yeah. What else did you do? Yeah, that's the vibe that's giving.
It just so happens, coincidentally, she's found at the location you were at.
Your wife found where you were at.
Sir, it doesn't feel coincidental to me, but I never heard Mindy. I never saw Mindy after she passed away.
And you're going to stick with the last time you saw her was
Saturday
where?
at the house.
At the house. So how long did she stay in the house before she was gone? Are you telling me like you came home and found her dead, or what's the story?
No, sir. I'm saying I came home and she was gone. I got messages from her for days.
Okay.
Telling me things to do, things we needed.
I've been doing this 28 years. I don't watch a lot of them, but a lot of people watch TV shows and stories. Read a lot of books that have these kind of stories in them. You have characters that you've envisioned and made in your stories, and some of your stories, but none of your stories before a jury in Georgia are going to go.
Is it over? You know what this reminds me of? Fried green tomatoes. Remember the whole the courtroom scene in there? Like, boy, this story ain't gonna go over in Georgia now. I can tell you this ain't gonna fly in about however many states, 51, 50, whatever, 35, whatever states we got going on up in here. It ain't gonna go okay. Now, one thing that also happens with Nick is he'll change his story around, okay? This will happen multiple times, obviously, okay? So there will be a transition in some of these clips, but obviously, too, once we get, and this will be a completely separate video, once we get to his time on the stand, he would have had time to change his appearance, number one. Number two, cook on this story, because this is somebody right here that really hones in on something. So imagine giving a person like this like nothing to do but concoct a story and sit somewhere and do that for however long right before trial. So you can only fathom what things were like then, but they were still completely over the top. Absolutely. And rest assured, Nick decided to take the stand, and it is just as horrifying, cringy, painful as you can imagine. And we'll get to that in the next video.
Everything you do, if Jim told you to jump off a cliff, you were going to jump off a cliff?
Yes, sir. For years we did exactly what Jim told us to do.
So
he wanted full access to our lives. He said he was keeping us safe.
Did Jim tell you to burn your car?
Sir, I didn't burn my car.
Well, the burns that you got that you described to the insurance adjuster for your medical records,
Yes.
You described burns going up into your nose and your face. It sounds like a flash burn from fumes. It sounds like a flash burn from fumes from an accelerant.
Yes, sir. I opened the car door, and that's when the flames got mine.
But what was important in the car that got burned up that day?
I thought my phone was in there.
What else was in there?
I don't know. I had some random stuff in there.
Was there a check in there?
Yes, there was a check in there. Yeah.
What was the check for?
The check was for a house.
For a house?
Yes.
Was you in Salem?
Yes.
What did you tell Salem happened with that check?
It burned up.
And what was the insurance company going to do about that?
I don't think the insurance company had anything to do with the check.
Was it a sizable check?
Yes, sir.
How much?
$860,000.
Just gone.
Yes, sir.
Almost $1 million check gone.
Yes, sir.
And you couldn't get a replacement?
No.
Y'all, so we're at the burnt up car part, okay? Remember, the $32 million, now almost $1 million check burnt up, insurance company can't do anything about it. Oh, it's gonna take, now his story that he goes into with this, y'all, is, oh, well, we have to do this, and it's gonna be this crazy thing to get the check and do this, and blah, 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 and it ends up not happening. This man has billions of dollars laying around that he just has to forfeit, right? Now, this is probably what I imagine something like this that goes down with him. He's telling whoever at home, he's like, baby, listen, I got this check. Maybe he printed one up, made a fake one, whatever. Baby, I got this check, okay? Now listen, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go put the deposit on this new house I bought us, okay? Let's call it our marital home, baby. He knows he can't do it, so he has to pop off with some big drama. It's giving Alec Murdoch, it's giving getting shot on the side of the road by your cousin, okay? So he pulls this off, and then he comes back and he's like, look, baby, we ain't gonna get the mansion in the hills, okay? But you know what? I'm still gonna treat you like a lady, like a real woman, okay? Now we're going to the McDonald's drive-thru, baby, and there ain't nothing on that menu that's out of your reach tonight, baby. We just keep it to the dollar menu, okay? You know, that was a standard Friday night in this man's house right there, y'all. $1 billion check out the window. Honey, unfortunately, we got to hit the dollar menu again, baby. I'm sorry. Maybe next Friday night, I'll make it happen, baby.
While you're doing what you're doing?
Yes, sir.
I think you're living a web of lies. For one of your close friends described you best, said you talk in parallel realities. It's like the story you sold them, it blends in the truths of what's going on in your life with what you want it to be.
He should absolutely feel seen and absolutely feel called out in this. This is the most accurate thing we have heard here in this interview.
You did not meet them with the man.
Yes, I did.
You did not meet them with the man. Your car is traveling out there. He's already told you. We put you and your cellular device in your vehicle out there in these places where your wife's body is found. Listen to me. With the knife that you just bought.
No, sir. That knife
The Milwaukee
came to
knife?
Pennsylvania. Yes.
That knife did not come from Pennsylvania.
Yes, it did, sir. I told you exactly where to find it.
Like, they're gonna believe him at this point. And notice how he picks him up one thing. No, I told you about the knife. It's like, honey, forget the knife. Pretend we're lying to you about the knife. Let's talk about you in the middle of nowhere around Mindy's body, dismembered body. Okay, let's talk about that. We can't talk about that, right, in his world, because it's for obvious reasons.
Remember applying for that marriage license?
Yes, sir.
Remember the questions it asked?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did you say on that marriage license?
I said that I'd been married once. I said that Mindy passed away in 2020.
Okay.
2 things that Jim told me to put down.
So you lied because Jim told you to lie.
Yes, sir.
Is him telling you to lie here today?
No, sir. I spoke to Jim.
I'm shocked. I was waiting for him to say, yeah, can't y'all hear Jim? This is me. If I was him, I would have been like this. I would have been like, well, yeah, he's been sitting over there in the corner the whole time. He's doing little reindeer things in the back of your head, boys.
So if you're worried about your dad and he's this bad guy that you're terrified of, that you've gone through all this hiding all these years, living off everybody else's finances, and being a hermit basically, then when you get locked up for this, you reach out to them.
I reached out. I had been in for 5 days. I couldn't contact anyone. And I reached out to Alice.
You know, your story is just so unbelievable. Everything you say and has continued to say has been a lie. Your life's a lie.
I just love that when they just sum that up. So you've been running from your dad, but yet you call him 5 days after being locked up. But well, you know your story's just so unbelievable. I mean, and it is. It's like I said in the beginning, it is absolutely insulting, okay? I mean, if these officers, they need an award for sitting through this. Okay, period, end of story. And it goes and it goes and it goes. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna end things off here. This is the world of Nick. Now, for the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at his time on the stand, okay? Because it's too much to take in one sitting, number one. I'm curious from you, a couple of things here. In comparison for Nick, Anthony, who was the worst? Because this story tops it, okay? This is one thing I'm very curious about. Do you think he really, like, in his mind, a targeted individual or no? Also, are there any interrogations like this that you want me to do, okay? Drop it in the comments. Let me know if there's any specific ones you want me to check out, to look into, whatever. Because this is one that y'all are like, Paul, you gotta look at it. You gotta, oh my gosh, you gotta do this. And I'm so glad I did, because I was like, what am I watching? Literally cringe fest. So, and I thank you for sitting on with me in the cringe fest, okay? So if you could drop all that stuff off in the comment section, and while you are in that comment section, if you could drop some little pillows off, some little sofas off for myself, Roscoe and Spirit, Bo and Luke, and you, the Sofa Squad, who makes the channel possible. I greatly appreciate you for doing so. And until we gather down there to talk about this absolute psychopath and the other ones we cover, I'll see y'all soon.
I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Ross on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, welcome to the Sofa Squad, sipping from the cup that hey, come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.